Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons Insurance, Penrite Oil and Hare & Forbes Machinery House.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Classic Restos. But first, have a look at this. Shannons offer us as enthusiasts just so much more. Classic bikes, cars, trucks. Bundle it all together with your house and contents and receive a multi-policy discount. Call Shannons on 134646 for a quote. Sign up for the Shannons Club. Interact with others. List your car club. Find events and so much more. The Shannons Club truly is your garage at shannons.com.au. For oil, coolants and additives, choose Penrite. They have stood the test of time. Established 1926. Australian owned, Australian made. Oil with more zinc for older style engines. No matter what the engine, no matter what the application. Contact the Penrite Technical Assistance Team 7 days a week at penriteoil.com.au. Oil right, use Penrite, simply a better class of oil. For some of the largest range of tools for all trades and DIYs, don't go past Hare & Forbes Machinery House. Established 1930, with branches around Australia and New Zealand. Their showrooms will have you browsing for hours, and no matter where you are, you can buy online at machineryhouse.com.au. From a garage jack through to a lathe, Hare & Forbes has the range. machineryhouse.com.au. And on today's show, I have been invited to the Werribee Show and Shine. It's a little event that packs a big punch. Classic Restos proudly covers large vehicle events hosting thousands, and I believe the smaller events deserve to be put on the map as well. Some of the largest events that we know once started with just a handful of cars and their enthusiastic owners turning up, talking some crap in the paddock, eating a sausage, then going home. But car shows today have evolved into a lifestyle. The Werribee and District Collectable Vehicle Club are once again putting on their event, the 17th Annual Show and Shine. There's face painting and a jumping castle for the kids, trade and market stalls, and all vehicles are welcome, whether it be a bike, car or a truck. And to me, that's a great show, one that showcases all genres of motoring transport across so many interesting decades. First cab off the rank today, we have Alex, one of the club members. How are you, Alex?
Very well, Fletch. How are you today?
Good, thank you. Good, beautiful day for it?
Beautiful, stunning.
Absolutely. A little bit like yourself with your car. I mean, it really is a highlight in the paddock here today. Tell us about this beautiful Buick.
So I have a 1956 Buick Roadmaster convertible. It is right-hand drive, but I bought it that way. We haven't touched it at all because I don't want to modify it in any way. I just want to keep it as original as possible, and it has a 45-inch record player.
This 1956 Roadmaster, so sensational in respect to that they put the year date in the centre of the grille. And every time I interview somebody with one of these cars, I mention that because it just goes back to such a proud era when these cars were built.
Yes, definitely. These cars, they're so huge and big. They're like the king of the road. Of course, it's behind the Cadillac, but to me, Buick's number one.
Tell me, what inspired you to go down this road to get such a big, opulent American classic car?
Well, I just love being ostentatious, and I needed something that stood out there, and everyone's got Chevys and all those types of cars, and I thought, well, 56 Roadmaster, you don't see them out on the road much.
You've got to being different. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's an extension of your own persona, isn't it?
Yep, definitely, and that's why I had to buy the dress as well to match with the colour, and yep.
Yeah, you're amazing. You've gone all out. We look around this car, the interior, original, just beautiful.
Yep, all original. We haven't modified it at all. It's we keep it as it is. I always polish the chrome. I just want to keep it in as nice state as possible.
Thank you so much for coming along. I mean, I just think it's lovely. It's a bit of girl power as well, and I'm always behind that too. The classic car fraternity, as we know it, is just evolving, and so many ladies like yourself are getting more involved too, which I just think is extra cool.
Yes, definitely. I've grown up with it. My dad, that's his hobby. He loves cars, and now I just love it. It's a passion and it's a lifestyle.
Yeah. Good on you. Well done, Alexandra. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fletch. Thank you so much for coming to our car show.
That's right. You're welcome. With me now, Club President Colin Pearce. How are you, Colin?
Not bad, Fletch. How's yourself?
Good.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
I did this show 2 years ago. This already, we're still fairly early in the morning here. At this stage, I think it's doubled.
Yep, you're not wrong. A couple of years ago, you were kind enough to join us here, put on a show. Great. But I'd say this year we've probably got nearly double what you saw the last time. So, yeah, it's increasing each year. So we've been doing it for 17 years, actually. So it's getting better every year.
Well, you're kind of old hands at it now, aren't you? What's interesting too is that there are so many different car shows every weekend. People have got more choice now. There's a lot more shows than what were even around 2 years ago. So even with all that choice and all those shows, to still get these numbers here to, a relatively small show here in Werribee, you're doing very, very well.
Yeah, thanks very much. Thanks to the boys have worked hard at it and to get everybody in, and also thanks to you for coming along and filming the show. I think that's brought some people in as well, so that's good.
Well, thank you. I mean, even if 2 people walk through the gate from the TV show, I guess that's something, isn't it, Cole?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah,
all extra bonus.
Yep.
It's a great show too because it's not just one brand. Not that there's anything wrong with that specifically, but you can see lots of different genres here: bikes, cars, trucks, anything with wheels is welcome here, right?
Correct. Yeah, well, our club, as you should say, is not a one-denomination club, car club. We've got everything from T-model Fords all the way through to current classic cars and everything in between. And our club's got over 250 cars in the club with 160 members. Wow. So we're doing pretty good.
These car clubs, they stand for just so many good reasons. What's the charity here for today, Colin?
Our charity is called Camp Quality for kids with cancer that we've been supporting for quite a number of years. The club has in a number of ways, and they're here today, and they're actually doing a barbecue for us today and selling some raffle tickets. So yeah, it's a very, very good cause.
Now, you want to contact the club, how do people contact you?
As I say, on the website, if you contact us on the website at Werribee and District Collectable Vehicle Club, and you can contact us there. Any of the members of the committee members are on the website there. You can contact us, and we'd welcome new members.
It's a sensational hobby and it's a lot of fun. Good on you, Colin.
Excellent. Thanks very much, Fletch. And look forward to coming back again.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
You're watching the 2015 Werribee Show and Shine, and you're seeing it first on Classic Restos. Stay in your favourite chair. Back with more right after this.
Every weekend around Australia, motoring enthusiasts get together to share their passion for cars and bikes. It's a passion that brings us together. All sorts of people, all sorts of cars and bikes, from the classics of today to the classics of tomorrow. At Shannons, we understand enthusiasts, so when it comes to insurance, it's got to be Shannons. Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 13 46 46 for a quote.
If you need a new piece of equipment for your workshop, you need Hare and Forbes Machinery House. Hare and Forbes Machinery House have showrooms around Australia and New Zealand that will have you browsing for hours. See the largest range of industrial and workshop DIY tools. You will be greeted by friendly, helpful staff, and you can buy from anywhere online at machineryhouse.com.au. Hare and Forbes Machinery House. Find your closest store at machineryhouse.com.au.
Penrite, Australian-made, family-owned and operated. Make premium quality engine and racing oils, warranty-approved coolants, automatic transmission and manual gear oils, a complete range of engine and fuel additives, heavy-duty and industrial products for every application. Visit penriteoil.com for more information. Penrite, Australian-made for Australian conditions since 1926.
Moving on through, when it comes to a stock standard Holden, we've got a beautiful HZ Premier. We have James. Hello, James. How are you?
Hello, Mr. Fletch. Good, thank you.
You having a good day?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. How are you feeling?
Good.
Yeah. You've got a beautiful HZ here. You've had it since new?
2 years old.
Yeah. It means a lot to you, right?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And the kids grew all in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It goes way back, doesn't it? I mean, cars become a big part of us. I mean, some people might think, oh, it's only a car, but there's a lot more to it than that, isn't there?
That's right. Yes. It's a lot into it. It's sort of part of my life now.
Yeah. What I love about the car, I mean, the doors open and close like brand new. It's still got an original interior.
Spray.
Yeah.
Yep. All I change on it, the wheels.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I mean, 223,000 kilometres is all this car has travelled. Even the original little pitments of the little stone chips across the top of the clip there, or top of the radiator support, all that sort of thing is just so genuine. I love it. Now, James, you've come along in your beautiful Holden. You've brought your wife, Margaret, with you.
Right.
Does she go a lot of places with you?
Or sometimes when she feels like it.
How's the 308, the V8? Still runs well?
Runs good. Better than me.
You're both still going, and that's the main thing.
That's right. That's sort of part of life.
Yeah, good on you. Well, it is a top-of-the-line car back in the day, being the Premier and a bit of extra trim level, and the seats are still so nice to sit in. I mean, it's the thing could be a couple of years old. It just goes to show it's a testament for the day back in the time of quality for something 37 years down the track, and, to be still so good. Thank you for bringing it along, James.
Thanks very much, Fletch.
That's all right.
And nice to meet you.
That's right.
Thank
My
you.
pleasure.
Thank you. Bye.
Time for David now. How are you, David?
Yeah, good, Fletch. Yourself?
Good, mate. Good. Talk about variety here today. A 1948 Vauxhall, an H. Now, what's the H?
Oh, it's just what they had J, H, I, P, A. That's like the Commodores.
Yeah, wow.
So just a H being a small car.
Being a two-door car too, in its day, how was it looked upon? Was it a sports car? Was it a
Yep. Yeah, a sought-after car with a rag-top two-door.
Now, David, just to differentiate, it's not a UK car?
No, they weren't built in the UK, only Australia, and they were built by Holden.
Right.
They come out as to be made up, and they put the back body on and so forth and all that. So.
But in 1948, to buy one brand new, you would have been doing fairly well too.
£600 or something from memory. I'd have to look in the books, but yeah, they're pretty dear.
Interesting stuff. Now, what powers it up front, or is power a silly word?
Yeah, it's a silly word. 12 horsepower.
Sorry?
12 horsepower.
12 horsepower.
12 horsepower. 14 four-cylinder.
Wow. I think most starter motors now have got more than 12 horsepower.
So, yeah. But
how does that work? I'm still trying to work out how a 12 horsepower car snaps a rear axle, because these cars were susceptible to that sort of functioning.
it was just a design.
It was like as though an axle snap was an option on the box you ticked when you bought a brand new.
Should do, yeah. But no, they go surprisingly well. Very economical. Probably get 40 miles a gallon.
But with all due respect, you'd want 40 miles a gallon. If something's only got 12 horsepower, if it was thirsty on juice, that'd be shocking.
You've got to get your worth out of it, of course. Of course you do.
Okay, now obviously it hasn't got its original interior. I mean, it stood the test of time. The poor old girl. Original paint as well.
Yeah, it was hand painted by the previous owner. I never met him. He died a few years ago. But I found it in a barn in Williamstown. Literally, as it is, still registered. Hadn't been driven since 1985.
That's pretty cool, David. It's a barn find, and that's they're all the go these days. And it doesn't matter what you find in a barn, if it's old, it's cool.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Good on you, mate. Thanks for bringing it.
No worries, Fletch.
Good on you, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Moving through one of Ford's nicest cars sold on the Australian market, I do believe, a 1978 Mercury Fairlane. We've got John. How are you, John?
I'm very, very well, Fletch. Pleasure to be here and just make your acquaintance on a lovely day like this. What could I ask for?
That is nice. That is nice. Now, look, this is a sensational car. It really is a great example. I love the chiselled look, the styling from Ford in the late 70s. They really did a fantastic job on these Fairlanes. Now, up front, we haven't had a look under the hood yet. 302 or 351?
351. Smooth, quiet, powerful.
Well, so that's a good score too. A lot of the Fairlanes were 302, so to get a 351 in 77 in these marquee models, you've done very well. Not a high mileage car by any means. The interior, absolutely spotless.
The interior, like the rest of the car, is completely original. The first owners had it for 29 years. The gentleman I purchased the car off had it for 4, so I've had it for about 4 now.
Now, John, what inspired you to find the Marquis? Have you always liked these Fairlanes?
I was always after a 1978 Ford LTD. I went to the All Ford Day at the Eastern Creek International Raceway in 2009. I saw this car, I looked over it, and I was impressed by how complete it was. Everything was there, everything was in good condition, and I thought, well, I'm standing next to something I want. it's now or never.
Yeah.
So I said, do it.
Quite honestly, I think it's one of the most stylish cars in the 70s that was sold on the Australian market, still inspired by the American design, based on Lincoln and Mercury and what have you. It was the very last, I believe, of the American shape on the Aussie market.
I agree, and it was the last of, as I understand it, the last of the chrome bumper Fords.
Yes.
And I've got a hang up with chrome.
Yep.
And I was very, very privileged to get this one. I also like the very tough front it's got, where you've got the corners are so prominent.
Yes.
Because I like sitting behind a wheel and looking at the extremities of the vehicle.
And you know where you're going, John, don't you?
Know where you're going, yeah.
Mate, thank you so much. It's been lovely catching up with you. Nice gentleman like yourself. Thank you for getting me in the headlock and having the interview. It's been a real honour having you on the show.
This is a dream come true for me. I came here today and this was the last thing on my mind, and I'm eternally grateful to you, Fletch, and your production team.
If you love your classic Americana, well then you'll love a Fletch tour. Have a look at this.
You deserve a Fletch tour. See the amazing Ford, GM and Chrysler Nationals at Carlisle events, along with museums and private collections in beautiful Pennsylvania, USA. Then it's the Motown city of Detroit and its region, taking in more die-hard stuff with incredible history. Rounding off with the Woodward Dream Cruise, the largest moving car cruise in the world.
The best part of coming here, actually, was having Fletch here.
We get picked up, we get dropped off.
Fletch is a wonderful tour guide.
I would just recommend a Fletch tour to anybody.
Go to classicrestos.com.au and click on the Fletch Tours icon for more information. Hope you're enjoying today's show. Back with more after this.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannons,
We've also got Shannons Home and Contents cover,
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be
Shannons.
Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 13 46 46 for a quote.
If you need a new piece of equipment for your workshop, you need Hare and Forbes Machinery House. From a garage jack through to a lathe, Hare and Forbes has the range. And Hare and Forbes Machinery House are Australian owned, established since 1930. You will be greeted by friendly, helpful staff, and you can buy from anywhere online at machineryhouse.com.au. Hare and Forbes Machinery House. Find your closest store at machineryhouse.com.au.
She could do with a bit extra. You'll need a bit extra doing this or this. They could all do with a bit extra. And you'll definitely need a bit extra here. Our engines need the extra protection you get with Penrite's range of premium oils and lubricants engineered right here for every application under the harsh Australian sun. Penrite, a better class of oil used by a better class of mechanic, and available from over 5,000 outlets across Australia.
Loving this event here today. Everywhere I look's a different car. What a beautiful car here. Ralph, hello.
Fletch, how are you, mate?
I'm good, you?
All right.
Are you having fun?
Yes.
Now, Ralph, we've got a Mercury behind us. Now, what year model is it?
It's a 1954 Mercury Monterey.
You know what? Ralph's very excited about this car, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I looked for it for about 7 years to find it. A real good car, so I finally found what I wanted, yes?
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. I really do. I love all these shapes that are never going to be designed ever again. Back in the days of the drawing board, before computers, and just to think that these shapes and the elegance was just so prominent back in these times. Although a top-end car, the Mercury back in its day, it's gone through all these years and coming out the other side. It's in incredible condition. Now, was it fully restored? Did you do that? What's the story there?
It's fully restored. Everything was done to it, like all the interior, all the spray jobs, all the bushes, bull joint motor has all been rebuilt, gearbox. It's all built to original.
Yeah. And isn't that beautiful? I mean, it makes them reliable. They're great to drive, turnkey drive, and that's what you want.
That's what I wanted, yes.
Now, talking of which, up front, now you've added a new 4-barrel carb there, which looks absolutely beautiful. What size is the V8?
265 wide block.
Yeah, right. And runs beautifully?
Oh, it runs like a dream.
I mean, what an incredible car. I mean, you look through the steering wheel, there's a dinner plate there with big slides. I just like to say you're watching an episode of the Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
That's big business going on there. I mean, I'd be driving that I'd be wanting to pull those slides.
What, the heater knobs and the air vents?
Even if you didn't want the heater on, no, just bring it forward. Just bring the hot air in. I want to see those working. That's the feeling. It makes you want to use everything, doesn't it?
Everything still works on the dash, the heater, the air vents, the fan, so...
He's having a ball. Good on you, Ralph. Thanks for being on today's show. He was a little bit shy, didn't want to be on the show, but I knew I'd talk him around. Good on you, buddy.
Thank you, Fletch. You do a great job with your show that you do.
Thank you.
And we watch it every time you're on, yes?
Thank you. Well, thank you, Ralph. And I think you did a great job at the interview too, because sometimes for some people it's not the easiest thing to do, but you've blitzed it. Well done, mate.
Thank you, Fletch.
Moving through as we do, we have Carl now. How are you, Carl?
I'm good, Fletch. Yourself?
Good, mate. Good. Never better. You know what? One big brand in the General Motors name that can sometimes be overlooked is Oldsmobile. Yet an incredible car. Tell us what you got here.
57 Oldsmobile Golden Rocket 88. They call it a two-door sedan, post-coupe.
What an amazing car. Once again, we're back in that category of whether you're sitting in a Buick, a Cadillac, an Oldsmobile, blindfolded, you wouldn't know where you were. These are incredible cars. The first thing that sweeps you off your feet when you look through the glass and you check out the interior has got to be that oval speedo and that dash.
Yep, it's a beautiful dash. You can't sit nothing on it because it'll fall right through onto the floor.
Now, Carl, where does this car go back with you?
4 years, almost 5 years. I got it from Michigan, and pretty much this is how it came out of the box.
Wow.
Of just some suspension work, and that's about it.
Now, Carl, this particular car now, have you had to do much to it in the time you've had it?
No, front springs and shockers, that's all I did. Yeah. When I got it, it set up like a praying mantis, so I just put a set of springs in it, gas shockers, so that's about it.
How cool are you? I mean, he's a kid that hasn't grown up. He's got on the front of his shirt, still plays with blocks. I mean, that's a familiar shirt. I've seen a bit of that lately, and it's a good shirt. But, one thing I love about this car is the back seat with the white, red and black, and then you've got the side trim in contrast as well. How that is cool.
Well, matching, inside and out. That's right.
What's the size of the engine up front?
371.
371.
It's just a Golden Rocket.
1957 with 371 cubic inches. How cool is that? Carl, thanks for sharing this car. I love the Oldsmobile. I have a lot of time for the Rocket. It's a great car. Thanks again, Carl.
No worries, Fred. Thank you very much.
Time for a dinky die Aussie product now on the show. Hello, Ray.
Hello, Fletch. How you going?
Good. How are you?
Good, mate. Yourself?
You're sporting a good hat there.
Oh, the sun's out. Got to keep it off us.
That's the one, mate. That's the one. Bit of shade here today, but gee, it's been a great day, hasn't it?
It's been a fantastic day. Always do it.
It is. And it's always lovely to see an EH that's been fully restored. What a sensational wagon is this. My hat comes off to you. Obviously, I'm not wearing one. What a great job in the end, eh?
Yeah, well, it took a long time to do it, and patience pays off.
Yeah, I mean, no bolt has been left unturned. Full ground-up resto here. Yep. And a wagon as well, sporting its original interior. That's sensational.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's taken a long time to do and I'm glad I got it on the road now. I get to drive it. I've probably driven it 20 times in a year. I've driven it like I've had it on the road, so...
Yeah, well, what you've got to do, you've got to say, I'm going to drive it 30 times next year.
Oh, not very often, only just shows, that's it, mate.
How does it drive as a car?
Drives beautiful, mate. Good on fuel.
Yep.
I couldn't believe it. Get better fuel out of this than I do in a new VT.
Yeah. So that's amazing, isn't it? I mean, really, when you think about that.
Yeah, well, it does. I did 4 trips to Geelong and one to Torquay, and I still had just under a quarter of a tank left, so it's done well.
Well, look, the little 149 up front too, I mean, and, single barrel carb, it shouldn't be a thirsty number anyway, should it?
No, it's not. It's not. Nice, quiet, peaceful.
Yeah. They just tick along like a Rolex, don't they?
Like a Rolex?
Yeah.
Well, a little bit quieter than a Rolex.
That's what I reckon too. They're beautiful. To think they're so old, yet when you recondition these things, they're so good. Do you know the history of this car? I mean, who had it? What did it experience in its life?
Well, I brought it off a mate. I was looking for one because of the age of it. And my mate said to me, he goes, oh, look, one of me cousins got it. He just bought it off someone and it's just been sitting inside of his shed for, I think he said 6 years. Yeah. Because he heat seized it and just never drove it. So that's what it turned out like.
Well, I hope you've got it with Shannons.
Yes, I sure have, mate. I sure have.
And you use Penrite oil?
Yes, I use Penrite oil as well, mate, so I do well.
Great to catch up again. I met Ray a few years ago. He's a great bloke, and I saw this car once upon a time as a rolling shell, so it was a long time ago, and this is the first time I've seen it finished. Like I said, mate, well done.
Thank you very much, Fletch. Thanks for your time. No worries, see ya.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed just some of the 2015 Werribee Show and Shine put on by the wonderful folk of the Werribee and District Collectible Vehicle Club. In the meantime, classicrestos.com.au is the website that you need for the DVD box sets of the show, Classic Restos merchandise, contact information on joining us on a Fletch tour, and of course, the major sponsors as well. As I say at the end of every show, no matter where you're watching Classic Restos from, until next week, please ride and drive safe. I'm Fletch, and I thank you very much for watching. You can like and follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Classic Restos TV and watch catch-up episodes at shannons.com.au. Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons Insurance, Penrite Oil and Hare & Forbes Machinery House.